The Academy of Raya Lucaria is the hub for any and all who want to study glintstone sorcery in the lands between. Those who wish to learn the secrets of glintstone study within its walls, and should they prove their worth, they're able to join a Conspectus. We've covered almost every Conspectus throughout our Elden Lore series, but there's one left that we have yet to delve into. The Olivinus Conspectus, started by the primeval sorcerer Lusat, focuses on the study of meteors, and sees its members casting sorceries named for the stars themselves. Much like the Carlos Conspectus, the Olivinus was created by a founding member of glintstone sorcery, venerated by portraits throughout the walls of the Academy. But like his colleague Azor, Lusat too dove into the study of the primeval current, finding deeper truths, and leaving his Conspectus without a leader. Welcome to Elden Lore, our weekly series diving into the lore and stories of the people, places, and groups of the lands between. If you enjoy this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. We try our best to create fresh takes on every topic we explore, and with 100 lore dives under our belts, we like to think we're providing much needed context to help with everyone's enjoyment of Elden Ring. We also have a Discord where FromSoft fans can connect and discuss their favorite lore and theories. Whether you choose to subscribe or not, just know that we appreciate your viewership. Now let's get back to the topic at hand. The sorcerers of the Olivinus Conspectus are one of the most common types of spellcasting enemies we face in the lands between. They are found in Raya Lucaria Academy, the Academy Crystal Cave, Celia, Town of Sorcery, and other areas where the mages of the land make their home. They are in fact so common that the glintstone sorcerer ashes are those of a member of the Olivinus Conspectus. Ashen remains in which spirits yet dwell, used to summon the spirit of a glintstone sorcerer. Spirit of a Raya Lucaria sorcerer wearing a stone crown, a scholar of the Olivinus Conspectus, who has mastered the use of the glintstone star sorcery. These sorcerers set themselves apart through their study of meteors, which we learn about through the Olivinus Glintstone Crown. One of the Glintstone Crowns bestowed upon Raya Lucaria scholars whose pursuits were deemed worthy increases intelligence to the detriment of HP. The lineage of the Olivinus Conspectus began with the sorcerer Lusat, and its adherents continue his study of meteors. This is very similar to the Carlos Conspectus, which studies comets, and in order to understand what sets them apart, we need only know the difference between comets and meteors. Comets are larger pieces of icy space rock found further away from the planet, typically orbiting the Sun. If a piece of a comet breaks off from a collision, it becomes an asteroid. If it then enters the Earth's atmosphere, it starts to burn up and becomes a meteor. The naked eye can perceive these as shooting stars, as they have a tail behind them as they fly across the sky. This means that the Carlos Conspectus was studying glintstone, the amber of the cosmos, while it was still in space, and the Olivinus Conspectus studied it as it came closer to the surface of the lands between. This can be seen through the sorceries developed by the Olivinus sorcerers. Both glintstone stars and star shower are sorceries of the Olivinus Conspectus, and unlike other spells, we can see tails coming off of them as if they were shooting stars. Glintstone Stars tells us it is one of the glintstone sorceries of the Academy of Raya Lucaria, fires 3 magic shooting stars that pursue the target, a sorcery of the Olivinus Conspectus, which attracts sorcerers from Celia, Town of Sorcery, and Star Shower fires 6 magic shooting stars that pursue the target, the most difficult to master of the Olivinus Conspectus sorceries. The most interesting thing we can learn from these spells is that they originated at the Academy, but Celian sorcerers are drawn to learning them, perhaps because the creator of these spells hails from Celia himself. During Celian's questline, we have to track down the remains of Master Lusat, and she tells us,
His expulsion from the Academy, I heard that Master Lusat returned to his home, a place called Celia in the eastern Caelid wilds. Thinking about it, I obtained the glintstone key I gave you from a Celian sorcerer. It wouldn't be too much of a leap to suppose he's still cooped up nearby.
So we have confirmation that before the founding of Rea Lucaria, during the infancy of glintstone sorcery, Lusat hailed from Celia, a town that we know breeds magical assassins, as Knight Shard and Comet tell us. The Celian sorcerers were assassins, and it's said that they often hunted their fellows. Needless to say, if this mindset travels back to the earliest days of Celia, it's no wonder Lusat would someday go on to break the rules of the Academy he himself was a founding member of, in order to gain a deeper understanding of the primeval current and its power. Celia holds many secrets, and it's reasonable to believe that Lusat was knowledgeable of them all. This is why sorcerers of the Olivinus Conspectus tended to originate from Celia. Those that wanted to follow in the steps of Master Lusat set out for the Academy and continued his study of meteors. The Olivinus Conspectus primarily hailing from Celia is interesting, as the sorcerers coming from this area of the Lands Between are known for underhanded tactics, but they've certainly carved out a niche for themselves within the walls of Rea Lucaria. While they definitely still study meteors, we have to assume those that stay at the Academy have given up on trying to walk in Lusat's footsteps and reach out to the primeval current, as they no longer cast Celian sorceries in battle and stick with Academy-approved spells. Those that chose to stay in Celia are now nothing more than ghosts, but their connections to the secrets of Celia are alive and well. While exploring the town, we can actually come across a Nox swordstress and a Nox priest, which shows us that these sorcerers had ties to those hailing from the Eternal Cities. As for other secrets of this town, the most glaring one is located in the Celian hideaway, where what's left of Master Lusat waits for us. The Celian hideaway is well hidden, and if not for a member of the Hema Conspectus nearby, it's likely no one would find it. This Hema sorcerer stands in front of a gravestone, and just beyond this gravestone is an illusory wall leading to the hideout. This sorcerer was likely stationed here by the Academy in an effort to keep anyone from reaching primeval sorcerer Lusat. The Hema were known to excel in combat, and the Academy likely thought them the perfect candidates to keep anyone from exploring areas they deemed off-limits. Upon investigating the cave ourselves, we can find the previous Grand Master Lusat, now nothing more than a shriveled corpse, with little to no life left within him. Lusat's robe is described as a robe reserved for Grand Masters at the Academy of Rea Lucaria, corroded by blue glintstones. Since the Grand Masters Azor and Lusat were driven from the Academy, no one has achieved their formerly held rank. And his glintstone crown tells us it is the giant blue glintstone crown worn by Lusat, primeval current sorcerer. This crown replaced Lusat's brain and skull altogether, and now, removed from his body, it is all but dead. What power remains within raises the potency of Lusat's primeval current sorceries, at the cost of additional FP consumption. These items show us how grasping at the primeval current has affected Lusat. He's no longer human, not really. He's become corroded by glintstone, to the point where it has replaced his mind. It seems in grasping the current, the knowledge taken does not just drive one mad, but makes them part glintstone as well. Upon finding Lusat, he gives us the fruits of his labor at studying the current, the sorcery, Stars of Ruin. Legendary sorcery devised by Lusat, primeval sorcerer, fires 12 dark shooting stars that pursue the target. When Lusat glimpsed into the primeval current, he beheld the final moments of a great star cluster, and upon seeing it, he too was broken. So unlike Azor, who was driven mad with fear and astonishment, Lusat was driven mad by seeing the final moments of a great star cluster, perhaps understanding that even these stars, directly tied to the current itself, that he spent his entire life studying, would someday end, was too much for him to bear. Regardless, that deeper understanding of the cosmos eventually led to his demise, as glintstone took hold of his body and mind, leaving him nothing but a husk that Selen could then utilize for her plans. When it comes right down to it, the Olivinus Conspectus does not have too many distinguishing features that set it apart from the other sorcerers of Rea Lucaria Academy. They were not battle mages. They did not wear lazuli robes. They didn't study multiple forms of sorcery due to their innate abilities. And really, they only had 2 spells directly related to their conspectus. If anything, you could say their contributions to the Academy were somewhat underwhelming. With that said, it's always possible that this could have been intentional. After all, the sorcerers of Celia are not to be trusted. Thank you for joining us for this week's Lore Dive. What do you think of the sorcerers of the Olivinus Conspectus? Do their ties to Celia have anything to do with their tenure at the Academy? Why do they have so few spells? Was their founder, Lusat, always intending to study the primeval current, even when he helped found Raya Lucaria? Let us know your thoughts and theories in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss out on any of our lore dives. We look forward to seeing you again for more Elden Lore.